Salut! Welcome back to Unintentionally Frenchified. It's officially been 2 weeks since we moved to Montreal from France after 13 years in France. Sometimes I wonder if I'm going to watch this video in 13 years and we will still be in Montreal, or will we be back in France? Only time will tell. But I wanted to give you guys a little tour of my temporary apartment here, point out some of the things that are quite North American for me, and some of them that I love, some of them that I haven't missed so much since I've been in Europe. And it's super important that I do it now because we officially signed to rent our permanent apartment. So we are very excited. If you know Montreal a little bit, we're going to be living kind of in like Plateau Mile End area. We found an apartment that we think is a great fit for our family. It's got a little yard. We're next to a big park that we think Eleanor will love, and it's not too far from my work. So it seems like it'll be a good fit. Cross my fingers. And yeah, so this will be maybe my last video. Maybe I've got probably one more that I'll be here on this couch with this good little 5 roses photo behind me that kind of stole the show. Everybody knew where I was moving to without you telling because of this photo. So you still have one more video with me here, but until then, if you have not subscribed to the channel, this is the moment. If you're into French, American, Canadian content, expat content, culture shocks, you are in the right place. So subscribe now. And otherwise, let's get the little tour going. C'est parti. So when you first enter the apartment, you have a little spot for your shoes, which doesn't seem like a big deal, and I've always taken for granted, but it is such a big deal when there's snow. I have forgotten how important it is to have some kind of like plastic little area where you can put all your shoes so the snow can melt off of it, the dirt can stay there, the grime, the salt. Because we don't have that in our temporary housing, there's just like stains all the time. I'm constantly having to clean up. So we did officially get snow boots. As you can see, that was huge for us and we're ready to go. But in our permanent like housing, I will for sure have something that is more than just like a tiny rug for our shoes. So right away, as you walk in the door, you have a bathroom. I don't think there's anything really special about this bathroom or any big like culture shocks for me, except for the fact that it is one of 2 bathrooms. So when I filled out our form for our temporary housing, I just asked to have 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. That seems like, enough for us. So that's what I was expecting when I came in, and surprise, we found out that there were 2 bathrooms. And I think this is a bit of my European side now, but the fact that there are 2 full bathrooms, like we're not even talking about just a shower, for example, or just a half bath, or I don't know, just an area for another person to get ready in, because technically you could be 4 people sleeping in this temporary housing. That to me makes a bit more sense. I find the fact that we have 2 toilets to be a total overkill. And I don't think I would feel this way. Like when I left for college, it's the last time I've had 2 toilets anywhere, more than 2 toilets anywhere that I lived, more than 1 toilet anywhere that I lived, is when I left for college. And we were a family of 6. Maybe that makes a bit more sense in a much larger house, but we're in 800 square feet here. I feel like there is just absolutely no reason to have 2 bathrooms, and especially not 2 toilets. But maybe this is just being very European, and that's just like totally normal in more North American places. As you can see, I am really enjoying having the extra bathroom space, even if I don't think it's necessary. I've got my makeup over here. I've got all of my jewelry. I've got all my products. I tend to just get ready over here. No one else really uses the bathroom. I know it's post-holiday season, so you might have a bit of gift fatigue, especially if you are more in the American mindset of quantity over quality and you've done a lot of gifting during the holiday season, or maybe you're more of the French mindset of quality over quantity. I don't actually know where the Canadians fit into this, so you guys will have to let me know if they're more American like this for gift giving or more French. But in any case, Ana Luisa is really the best of both worlds. If you don't know the brand and you're thinking about gifting for somebody else or maybe for yourself, some jewelry, then you should really think about Ana Luisa as we shimmy into 2023. Ana Luisa is a carbon neutral jewelry company that is both sustainable and affordable. And I've been working with them for years now. And what I really love is they make a very limited quantity of jewelry, meaning that the designs change all the time, so there's always lots of new things, and also they don't have a lot of extra stock that goes to waste. So their pieces normally start at 30 euros, but with some great discounts that they have usually running, or with my own discount code, you can usually find a really great deal. So today I am all decked out in Ana Luisa as I normally am because I tend to just keep the same earrings in all of the time. I do everything with them. This is highly not recommended, but I do. I shower, I work out, everything. So I got a third hole before I left France. I hadn't pierced my ears in so long, but I finally was able to switch them up. So everything's Ana Luisa. You can see here in my first hole, I have the small rocks. So they make these in lots of different sizes. If you like this look, I do. I think it's fun, it's minimalist. They're really light. A lot of Ana Luisa's stuff is light, and so you can wear it all the time. They start at 79 euros. So if you like these, go check them out. So I have different ones in each year. On this side, I've got like the little seal link is what it's called. And I think this is so fun. It's got just like here a little, I mean, it's not a diamond obviously, but just like a little sparkler right here. And then there's a chain link to it and it attaches to a little paper clip. I think it's pretty contemporary. It's a little bit more funky than some of the other stuff that I like to wear. And I love the fact that I just can stick it on one hole and do something different, you know, that uses both of my second and third hole, or if you have 1 and 2. This is a great earring and I can do something different on the other side. It pairs really easily with everything. And then here on this side, you can see that I've got a little huggy right here. I love these, like one of their little huggy hoops. They make lots of really close, tiny hoops. I love those for any occasion. And then I've got a great little crawler right here that goes all the way up here. So I've got a discount code for you all that gets you 20% off. So if you want to sparkle and shimmy, as I said, into 2023, I put everything in the YouTube description below, the link to Ana Luisa, the discount code. Go check everything out. I am sure if you are interested in some gift giving for yourself, you won't be disappointed. So next, you've got a really great storage space here. Of course, I love the fact that there's storage space. If you've watched any of my channel, you know that I've had no storage space since, again, I was like 18. So this is really, really cool. But what I also love is the stuff inside of this storage space because it's all winter clothes. It makes me feel like back when I was going to college in the Midwest, or back when I was growing up and you had lots of winter stuff. We have real winter stuff now. And big shout out to my family who really helped give us a bunch of stuff, lend us a bunch of stuff. And then we also found out that Decathlon also exists here in Montreal. So we did a little stop because I didn't realize, but for Eleanor, for daycare, she needs to have clothes that go all the way to -30. Like basically they go outside unless it is like lower than -30 degrees Celsius, which seems really intense. So we wanted to make sure that she was like really bundled up the best way possible. So we officially have our winter gear. Here's the very coveted washer and dryer. This makes me feel like I am back in North America. I know that people in Europe have washers and dryers, but it is one of the first things along with the dishwasher that is not in an apartment as soon as you don't have a lot of space in Europe. And I don't want to do a debate about it. I know that there are negative aspects about having a dryer for your clothes and also for the environment. But when you are the person doing laundry, and I do laundry for only 3 people, I know there are larger families out there where there is one person managing the laundry. It is so intense to have to hang it out to dry. And in the summer, it dries really fast, no problem. But in the winter, for me, it could take like 3 days to dry clothes. This washer and dryer is my favorite part of the apartment. I kid you not. I could, like, the space, to me, the difference in space isn't even what excites me the most. It is the washer and dryer. So all of this opens up then onto a really big kitchen, living space, you know, kind of like a little dining room table as well to eat, and then also a desk over here. The very first thing when we walked in is Robin made a comment on how large the island was. And I was like, oh, this is very American. And since then, we visited a lot of apartments and all of them have had very big islands. I would say in my experience in France, you definitely see people that have islands, but they don't tend to take up so much of the kitchen. It tends to be more thinner, maybe 1 or 2, like 2 bar stools on it, and it never really has the kitchen sink. And here, obviously, it takes up a large like space in the kitchen. You've got 3 different bar stools, almost 4 that you can fit in there. The sink is there. And I find this island to be very, very North American. I'm interested to think of, like, hear what you guys have to say about it. But every apartment that we visited had islands that took up the entire kitchen. And you'll see when I show you guys our permanent apartment, our island takes up a huge part of the kitchen. And I think it's really useful, but it's not something that I'm used to seeing very often. The rest of the kitchen to me is pretty, like, nothing shocking, pretty normal. We have big refrigerators even in France in small spaces. So nothing else, you know, here. And you've got like the desk that we used to work at. You also have the dining room table that we never use because we end up really just eating at the big island. So this is Eleanor's room. So I was surprised when I walked in here about the size of the bed in Eleanor's room. And I feel like this is a bit of having come from Europe. We don't tend to see as big size beds. Like this is a queen size bed here. I know that that's not huge. It's like the very average probably size bed that you give people when you want two people to be able to comfortably sleep. But in France, two people comfortably sleep in a full size bed. Like when you see a full size bed advertised in France, there are two pillows and there's spots for two people. We've noticed as we're looking for beds right now that when you look at it in Canada, I wanted to say the US, I'm not in the US, but in Canada, that it's not for two people. It's always got one pillow for one person. So there's already just a very different way of looking at the size of bed and how much space each person needs. And then we have seen like selling of the king size beds, the Canadian king size beds, even in places outside of Paris. Like I'm talking about when I go and visit family and friends who have lots of space, nobody has a king size bed in France. Like it just doesn't. I mean, of course people must. I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that there's like a market there, but it's not something you see that often. So I feel like bed sizes are going to be something for me to like get used to. And it just takes up a lot of space in this room, but Eleanor loves it. She loves it. She feels like such a big girl in her big bed. So walking over here, you can kind of see the beautiful view of Montreal. So this is definitely something that we're gonna miss because we are on like a higher floor here and we're not gonna be in the same case, obviously, where we're at. We won't be in a high rise, so we won't get this view for that much longer, but that's been really nice. And then finally you walk into our room. I would say our room, there's like not anything hugely shocking about it that like surprised me or any culture shocks, but I was so excited. If you have seen my apartment tour of our home in Paris, you will know I am so excited about the fact that we could both get into bed on our own sides because our bed used to be pushed next to the wall. And so you had to crawl over each other to get into bed. So this is very personal, but it felt very luxurious when we got here and we could both get in bed on different sizes. And then of course the closet, as you can see, I walked into the closet and I was like, oh, welcome home. The thing is I don't even have that many clothes because all of our stuff is coming by boat and we don't have it yet. But the idea that I had a big closet and we had a lot of storage space for our clothes, because in Paris, I never had like clothes from summer and winter like out at the same time. I had to switch in seasons. It just wasn't the same space, right? So the closet was really, really fun. And then of course you had the second bathroom that I already kind of talked to you guys about, so nothing really special there. All right, so that's about it. That's a little tour and some of the things that I noticed that are different. Can't wait to hear what you guys think in the comments below. One random thing, and I don't think this is a Canadian versus Europe thing, but there is like almost no ceiling lighting in this place. And the sun goes down right now at about, well, when we got here, it was like 4:35. It's now getting closer and closer to 5, but without a lot of like ceiling lighting and then only using lamps to light up, it gets very dark here. Like if Robin and I were trying to have a romantic moment, then fine. But in terms of like getting stuff done, I can barely see in Eleanor's room when the sun goes down with all of the lights on. It is very hard. And in the apartment that we're renting, that's not the case. So I think that's just very like corporate housing or whatever. But it was something that we didn't like love so much about the apartment in terms of just not being able to see when it was nighttime. So that is a wrap. I want to know what you guys thought. Do you agree? Were some of the things more North American versus European that I didn't point out? If you are interested in Ana Luisa, I put everything in the description below. So you've got the discount code for 20%. You've got the link to Ana Luisa. Go check all of that out. You will not be disappointed. And I will see everybody la semaine prochaine. Bisous.